Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you ways that you can get inspired, ways that I like to get inspired. I know sometimes you can fall in a rut in life and just feel uninspired, I guess, for personal growth. These are the ways that I like to get back on my game, be inspired to just be the best person that I can, reach my goals, and just get yourself going and inspired for living your best life. And what do we think of the new setup? This is kind of what I'm thinking of doing for my Christmassy videos. It's not super festive, I might add a little bit more, but let's see. I should also point out I'm going to be uploading one more video and then I'm going to be taking a break and coming back for 12 days of Christmas. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the 12 days counting down till Christmas. 12 videos just to get you in the spirit, but I'll be giving updates on my other social media, so make sure you're following me on Twitter and Instagram. Those are linked down below. So yes, one video, a break, and then 12 days of Christmas. However, you might be wondering, what are you doing Vlogmas? I'm not going to commit to Vlogmas this year, but I am going to be starting December 1st uploading Christmas themed vlogs on my second channel. So you want to be subscribed to my second channel if you like raw vlog videos, not these sit-downy ones, but where we're just running around doing whatever, showing our daily life. I know not all of you guys like those, but if you do, subscribe right here to Everything Sarah, because starting December 1st, lots of Christmassy videos, but over here you won't see me for a little while. Anyways, that's a super long intro. Let's get into ways that I get inspired. So the first thing I like to do, you've probably heard it before, you've probably heard it from other people. Again, I'm not claiming any of this is original, but I like to listen to audiobooks. I used to read more, I have to be honest. I should probably read. I do think there is something special about reading versus listening to audiobooks. I think your brain might be engaged a little bit more when you're reading hard copy books. But if you can't manage to do that, audiobooks are a great solution. This is not sponsored by Audible. I know Audible sponsors every single YouTuber ever. Not me yet, maybe one day, so I'm not saying I'll never be sponsored by them, but audiobooks are great. You actually don't always have to pay for audiobooks though. You might be able to talk to your local library. They might have audiobooks you can even listen to for free. Of course, you can rent books from the library for free. Thrift shops are a great place to find books as well if you do like to have the copy and really take your time. Books are a glimpse into other people's brains. It's a way to get other people's knowledge, and I think it is so powerful. Years ago, when I was first looking into self-development and living different kinds of lifestyles, reading was the way that I figured out that there's other ways to live than just what you see your immediate friends and family doing. So books are extremely powerful. I've made a video a long time ago on my favorite books, but it's probably pretty still relevant, so I'll link it here. Right now, Matthias and I are listening to 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I've already listened to it many times, but it is a good refresher. I know it sounds kind of like scammy, the title, 4-Hour Workweek, but it does have some solid advice. Also really like Gary Vaynerchuk's books. He has a lot of amazing books. Anything by Dave Ramsey, Stephen Covey, Napoleon Hill, I could go on and on. Maybe I'll do another video about that, but yeah, check out the old one. So read, listen. Every time you want to turn on a movie and just unwind, try to get in the habit of going, hey, I could either just numb my brain with this Netflix show or with this movie, or I could use this time to improve myself and inspire myself. Second thing that I like to do that you can do too is just go and meet new people. This doesn't need to be in a fancy event type of environment. That of course makes things a little bit easier sometimes, but no matter where you are, what you're doing, where you live, you can meet new people. I know it can be hard, but I added this to the list because just the other night, Matthias and I were out in New York City, and we just started talking with somebody, okay? We're not the best at this, but it's something that I'm truly working on, being back in America, where people tend to strike up conversations with, you know, strangers a lot. It's very common here, not so common in Switzerland where we used to live. So I decided, Matthias, we're not going to be antisocial. Let's just strike up a conversation with this person who's like 2 feet away from us. Like, why not? He was from England. He'd been in the US for decades now, and we just learned his whole life story of starting businesses over here. He was actually an entrepreneur, and it was so inspiring. And this might sound funny, but I think the best, most inspiring people to talk to are older people. They just have so much knowledge. They've been through so much. You can hear everything that they built up over the past decades of their life. I know it can be intimidating just going out and meeting new people. I'm honestly not great at this myself, but every time I do, I come home going, we need to do that more. It feels so good just to talk to people. I'm the type of person who chooses to isolate myself. I'm very much in my comfort zone when I am alone, but every time I force myself to meet new people. I get very inspired, and it's just very, very positive. Next thing you can do is go to events, panels, conferences. I've spoken about this again so many times because I'm really a big believer in getting out there and networking. So this doesn't have to cost anything. Go on Meetup, go on Eventbrite, go on Facebook, Google, go on Twitter. Twitter is probably where I find most of the events that I go to. You can actually type in Twitter search. I have a whole other video on networking, but on Twitter search you can type your city and your interest, and anybody who's tweeting about those things, it will show up. So you could search NYC business and you can see a lot of people who are tweeting about that, and that's how I tend to find events. People will tweet like NYC business XYZ event on this date or tonight or whatever. It's a great way to find events that might not have been well advertised elsewhere, or just somehow you didn't see it anywhere else. Twitter is a great place to find things going on. Now, conventions and events can be expensive, but they aren't always. Sometimes you can find, trade shows that cost very little to get in, and it's just great to go check it out. So as far as like panels and meetups and just business events, I do like to go to things outside of my direct interests. It's not all startup scene or whatever media that I go to. I also like to look for events that are maybe cultural events or art or whatever. But for example, this week we went to a veterans in entrepreneurship event, and I'm not a veteran. No one in my direct family is involved in the military or anything like that, but I still thought, hey, this might be interesting. I'm sure most of the people there are going to be from the military, but I bet we can meet some super inspiring people. Let's go check it out. We got chatting and we had an amazing time, met some great people, got some awesome contacts, and it might even lead to things later on. So go check out things that even might not be in your direct interests. Another way I like to get inspired is to write things down on paper. Pen to paper, I think, is extremely powerful. When my thoughts are a mess, when I feel like my life is a mess, writing down what I want to achieve on paper, I like to say on paper, on purpose, it's amazing what it will do for you. I can honestly say the only times I've ever achieved the results that I wanted is when I had a clear goal on paper and I was checking in constantly to make sure that I was on track with my goal. I find that when I take notes in my phone or I type things on the computer and save it in a Word document, I never come back to it. Whiteboarding and notebooks, journals, calendars are my thing. I don't know what it is, I just think there's a certain magic about pen to paper, and it really inspires me, and I am able to achieve things once I write them down. Next of it has to be one of my favorite ways, and that is to learn something new. I am one of those people, I've always loved school. I just love learning, and I know a lot of people say, oh, school, you don't use it in the real world and yada yada, and you know what? A lot of that is true. A lot of the things that we learn in school are completely not applicable because school and governmental organizations and stuff cannot always keep up with industry. So of course you're going to learn a lot of things that are not applicable in the real world, but I still find school to be important. So checking out if there's free classes at your local community college or super affordable classes or online classes, you have all sorts of options to go and learn something new. It will open your eyes to a whole new world. I did this a few years ago. I went back to school and studied global trade compliance because I was just interested in international trade, and it was so amazing to meet so many people that were super passionate about global trade compliance and import and export, and they were just so passionate, and I thought it might be something that I'm interested in pursuing, but in the end it wasn't really something that I wanted to do long term. But I have no regrets that I went to the class and that I learned what I learned, because I think it really helps inspire me, and if anything, it helps cross off the list of things you do not want to do. On that note, I'm actually going to announce that I am going back to school next fall, you guys. I'm gonna go back for a master's degree. I just feel like it's time. I want to learn something new. I'm looking at a few programs. I'm gonna walk you guys through the process. It's going to be a few months until I can share details about the program I'm going to, how I got in, and funding, the whole financial side, and time and balancing it and all that kind of stuff. So I probably will make a series about going back to school, describing all of the details, but I just want you guys to know like how passionate I am about learning and education and school, especially because I know lately so many people are putting down education and saying, oh, just go out into the world because school doesn't help. And I know for some people that's the way to do it, that's how they function, but it all comes down to self-awareness. And I know that I love school and I do get a lot of value out of it, and others may not, and that is completely fine, but you got to know yourself and know what environment you thrive in. Okay, next, shall we mention the obvious? A great way to get inspired is YouTube. I personally get so inspired by all sorts of completely random YouTube videos. I don't necessarily watch other like self-development channels, but I do like to watch a lot of TEDx talks or speeches given by vegan doctors or presentations from inspirational people. There is a lot of amazing content on YouTube beyond just like, you know, creators who are also extremely inspiring. My goodness, there's so many YouTubers that are just so inspiring, and if I do end up watching one of their videos, I'll like get out of bed and be like, it's time to do something, and start writing things down and start making things happen. But beyond just like YouTuber created content, check out YouTube for TEDx talks. You can go down that hole of listening to all of those amazing people's stories, and there's just heaps of good information out there completely for free. Watching things about history is also particularly inspiring because sometimes you see that history is repeating itself or all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I find history inspiring. Last way to get inspired is to stop wasting your time on things that are not important, things that do not matter. Playing cell phone games, watching TV that just kind of numbs you and doesn't inspire you. I would really try to limit this kind of stuff, because you'd be surprised to find how much your mind is going to open up when you take that free time and challenge yourself to do something else with it. That's the main thing. That's why I find it inspiring. Instead of sitting there with all this noise going on and all these screens and all this stuff, think what else you can do with that time. The quietness, the stillness is going to inspire you. You're going to have good ideas come to you. I personally think having a clear mind is super important for letting inspiration come your way. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this, give it a thumbs up. What's your favorite way to get inspired? Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments down below. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye! And until next time, guys, don't forget, every single day you have the opportunity to take your dreams and put them into action. So work hard, be kind, make it happen.